Hi guys, it's Alyssa. Welcome back to my channel. So I've always kind of wanted to do this with you guys, just like chit chat about things while I'm getting ready to do another video. A lot of times people do these videos when they're getting ready to go out, but because I don't go out because I'm a mom, I never do that. The only time I get ready is when I'm gonna do a video. So first off, just notice these are my fingernails right now. I know, I mean the nails themselves are okay. They're not okay. But my daughter did my nails and then I haven't redone them because I don't know. I don't want to just keep saying I'm a mom, but because that like makes me not cool. And you guys are gonna be like, okay, boomer. I'm not a boomer. I am a millennial. I am Generation Y, right? Who knew? I'm old. I'm like the old part of Generation Y of the millennials. Like 2 years, but it's still 2 years in. It's like 1982, right? I'm like 1985. Okay. Let's get ready. So this is my bare face. So beautiful. And let's just talk. So first I'm probably just gonna like pretend like this is a makeup tutorial, but I do have things to talk about. Oops, I just spilled this. Okay, so this is fun. I always start off my face by putting oil on it. And now this says it's Kiehl's Daily Reviving Concentrate, but it's not. It's the bottle's left over. I put grapeseed oil in it. And I like put so much oil on my face all the time because I have naturally really oily skin and I've always had acne problems. I have really bad acne scars for years. And some of my old videos, you can actually see me breaking out really bad. And I always had to wear like a lot of makeup on my face, but I actually burnt the shit out of my face with apple cider vinegar and got rid of like, I just like changed the pH balance of my face because I was putting that shit straight on my face. And then I was like taking shots of it because I'm a weirdo and I really love it. But I was really poor for a while after I did this and I realized my face was so dry now. Like I had just changed everything about it. But a lot of the scars went away. I mean, you can still, I still have scars. Where's my nose? But a lot of it, the redness died down. Then I was like, I need to start making my face, I mean like liquefy it. What does that mean? Like moisturize my face, and everything's so expensive. So I just had some really cheap grapeseed oil from Trader Joe's. It's like $4 and I started putting it on my face. So I did get this from a friend. It worked all right. And then I just put grapeseed oil in it and I've been back to it ever since. But before I put my makeup on, I always put oil on my face, all up in it, because makeup just stays on and doesn't get clumpy. And since my face is like oily and dry, whatever, they say it's combination skin. I've never had combination skin. It's more like my skin is so oily that if I don't take care of it right, it dries out and becomes a crusty mess. You know what I'm saying? Like where you have zits and you're like still dry, but I've always tried to take care of it in some good way. So I subscribe to Ipsy, right? So most of my shit is like sample size, but Ipsy's not paying me for this. They bring out, this is actually something really cool I want to share with you guys. When you get Ipsy, they give you bags, okay? Like, so I put makeup in these bags, but I have a million decks of tarot cards, right? And they fit perfectly in these bags when they're when they break, like the boxes fall apart, because the boxes fall apart so easily. So they're just so perfect and cute. This one's a little bit flimsy. The only thing is, look how cute it is. It's like a, it has constellations on it and a little pendulum zipper thing. So I had to use it, but these ones are more sturdy. Like these have 2 cards on them. Anyway, because they just like, here, I'll show you. I mean, they throw these bags at you and it's cheap because when you're poor, you need cheap stuff and they give you nice stuff and it's like always a fun surprise, and that's how I've been getting my makeup and it works. So anyway, this is Smashbox Studio Skin 24-hour wear hydrating foundation. See, I don't know. I just like, I use my fingers. My hands are all like washed, but I have a pink sponge, you know, from Sephora. This is a little bit not my skin tone because I haven't been in the sun. Yeah, it's like, wow, really not looking like my skin tone right now. This is awesome. I had no idea how much fun this video is going to be to do. Okay, so don't worry, it's not going to look like shit for forever. This lighting. Okay. Anyway, I don't know, I just feel like you lose so much of your makeup with any sponges. And seriously, when you're poor, and I keep saying I'm poor, but I've been poor for fucking so long. It's just like a part of my life now. And I think about this and I'm like, okay, so now I'm gonna expose myself on the internet, and I'm all of a sudden like, damn, I've been poor. So I used to live like a normal life, right? Like everybody else. I had a job doing YouTube. My husband had a job. He was a restaurant manager. We had like, 2,500 square foot house, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, like an attached office. It had a dining room that made no sense because it also had an eating kitchen that was like right by the dining room. Like one of those stupid houses that made no sense. And I hated my life so much, right? And that's when I quit YouTube, which is actually funny. So I did this perfect storm thing. I decided that I really, really hated my life, okay? Because it just wasn't rewarding and I was getting really tired and I didn't know why. I was having a hard time with astrology and everything, and I was having a hard time with people, and like I hated the spiritual community. Well, it was like the astrology community. Now it's sort of all lumped in. There's all different places, but people who do tarot get into astrology. If you do astrology, get into tarot. I mean, because it is one thing, right? Like it's all encompassing in reality, and I hated it. Like, it was so draining and people expected so much of me and I didn't even know if what I was doing anymore was right, etc. And I don't know, I was depressed. So then one day, we were renting our house. We didn't own it. We were thinking about getting, saving up to buy a house, whatever. And our landlord calls like a month before. We didn't sign a lease. We had kind of been going month to month just because after our first lease, we were cool with the landlord and he's just like, yeah, stay. So I kind of thought that was fun because I hated signing contracts and leases and stuff. But turns out that means the landlord can like kick you out whenever he wants to. So he's like, I'm going to kick you out now. And we're like, wow, what a sign from the universe, right? Seriously, like I'm already mad about being here. I hate it. And then also my landlord's like, you can't be here anymore. So I'm like, okay. So I'm trying to like soul search and find out what I'm supposed to do. And I just get this huge, like, you need to move to LA, like go to California. And I'm like, okay, that's where I want to be. I was in Texas. I'm from Chicago. I was living in Texas for like 7 years and I was done like living in Texas. And I hated everything. I mean, I keep saying that. I can't tell you I don't think I can emphasize enough how much I hated my life, okay? I just did. It was so unhappy. So I was like, yeah, I want to move to LA. That's what I want. I'm from Chicago. I don't want to move back to Chicago. It's too cold. But I really hate being in Texas, and I gave it a shot. I was in Austin and it just didn't work out for me. Because my nose has this weird bridge, so I'm fixing that right now. Okay. I want to move to LA. And I did move to LA. Like 2 months after that. I moved in May 1st, and because this guy I'd been talking to, he wanted to do a reality show and stuff, and he goes, you know what, it's perfectly weird, but you can move your family out to my house. We have a couple of rooms for you. And I was like, okay. Sounded too good to be true, but we got rid of everything to get out there, okay? Like, we had nothing. We had so much shit that we accumulated with our American consumer lives, stuff that I forgot we even had. And we just got rid of it. And we moved my 2 kids and my husband in our minivan, because we even had a minivan. Obviously, you hate your life, you get a minivan. That's not true. I won't be mean about that, but minivans are awesome when you have kids, okay? But then you also look at it and you're like, I drive around on a minivan with my kids, and I'm getting overweight and fat, and it sucks. So, and I'm depressed. This was in 2017, by the way. So I'm still doing my YouTube channel and like whatever else. And we moved everything in a trailer hitch on our van. It was the biggest trailer. We pulled it in our van. We show up to where we are in LA, and I cried the first 2 nights because it was not what I thought it was going to be. And I really tried to make it work, and it didn't work. But right before I left, I quit YouTube, which did not make the person that I was going to live with happy, but I just felt called to. It was like a shitstorm, but I was like, this isn't what I want to do. I know what I want to do. I'm going to go there. This guy's going to help me get what I want. He said he wanted to help me, and then work out from there. But when I told him I quit, he was like, oh yeah, cool. But then he was like, for some reason, didn't believe I really did quit. And I was like, no, I did. And it didn't really work out. And I couldn't do anything. I was losing money. I had a bunch of readings right before I quit. People bought tons of readings, and then I couldn't do them. The situation I was in was so bad. I didn't have a room. The rooms were small and they were dirty, and the situation was really emotionally draining on me. And I was like, I was so sad, and I was getting more depressed. I was like, I thought I was moving to LA and everything was going to be okay because it lined up. The universe lined up for me to come here. And then it didn't work out. And it was just weird. It was so fucking weird. Anyway, so I lost money. I started losing money. It drained rapidly, trying to even pay the rent to this guy. And then I wasn't able to do my readings. So then people started yelling at me. I started getting a bunch of emails like, where's my reading, Alyssa? And I was like, I don't know. I can't even do it. I don't have a space for it. I didn't know what to say. I just felt like I had quit, and I just had to, and I couldn't go back on YouTube, and I just had to continue that quitting, right? Like, just had to stick it out. I wasn't going to come back for that. And that was, yeah, that was my thing. But then I had to, we failed. Like, I failed. I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I didn't even get opportunities to do what I wanted to do because the dude who said he was going to give me opportunities didn't like the opportunities like that I was asking for. Not like he wasn't liking that he didn't like that I was changing my profession. I literally had to talk to him about it every day because he's like, I just don't get it still. I'm like, I get it that you don't get it, but this is like my calling. I want to change this. And he was like, well, I don't get it. And so I was like, okay, so this was obviously a huge mistake. And I just felt really lost, and like I couldn't do what I wanted to do. And my life had run away with me. Because what did I want to do? I wanted to be an actress. I was already like, sometimes it's like stupid to say you want to be an actress, but I had already done so many long distance interviews for reality TV shows based on the fact that I was an astrologer. Like, I got a lot of calls to be on TV. And if you see this, like, none of them went on TV, and there's still no astrology show. And I think a lot of astrologers are like, oh, we're gonna be on TV one day. And I still, like, I had four interviews like last year. Not even just interview, like I went into a studio for an astrology show. I mean, there's just, those opportunities keep knocking down my door. So I just thought that maybe something would happen beyond that. Okay, because this guy said, like, you know, he's like, I know producers and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, so we can do that. I already have a leg in. Even if it had to be astrology, I didn't care so much, but I wanted it to be more creative, and I didn't know, like, I didn't want to keep doing what I was doing. Long story short, I failed, right? That's what I keep saying. I failed, and it sucked, and I had to crawl back home to my parents, who were already not super happy with me for leaving in the first place. And I lived with them, with my family. We lived in their room, and we helped them sell their house, which actually was awful, selling their house with them. And then they moved to Illinois, and I still had nothing to show for it because I was still pretty depressed, and I had to go to Illinois with them and live in that house. You see how I have to contour my nose because I like don't have like a bone in here. It's besides the point, but I've never had plastic surgery or been filled. Obviously too poor for any of that to spend time and money on that, but I just want you to know that. And I'm 34, so it's just weird. I feel kind of out of touch with reality. Like I should have gotten my nose fixed, and I didn't. Okay, so I'm like living in Mount I'm not going to say what it is because my parents live. I'm living in this place in Illinois, mountaintops. I'm not going to tell what it is. And it's like, this is, it sucks so bad. My mom just is like getting angrier and angrier at me, okay? Like so mad at me for not getting a job at Kohl's. Because she kept saying like, oh, you could get a job at Starbucks when that opens up, or you could work at this place and you could get an apartment here. And I was like, what don't you understand? I want to go back to LA. I want to go back and do what I was supposed to do. I want to like follow this. And then my parents just kept telling me I failed, and they just kept yelling at me, and they're like, you live under our roof, you know? And I was like, but just help me, help you. Like, I helped you move, now help me get out of here. But they didn't want to help me. They wanted me to do what they wanted to do. And I was starting to realize that people just really like control, and that people really like controlling me. And the same thing with that dude that I lived with. My whole family lives with them, and he's like yelling at me. Like, everyone's yelling at me all the time. I'm like, just give me some space. But no one wanted to give me space to like think about what I wanted to do. Nobody gave me like time to just be myself. And I felt like a fucking child all the time, that nobody trusted me with who I was. And I thought that was so weird, because I'm like, I made everything that I've already made. I've done it all. Like, I did something that you guys have spoken about being something important, but now you're telling me it's nothing, and I've never done anything with my life. And I was like, well, maybe I'm nobody and I'm nothing. That could be it, right? Like, maybe I'm nothing and nobody. So I really like blush, guys. I put it like all over my face. This is brown, and it's like from Mary Kay. Look at my nails. I'm so, it's called Tea Berry. I don't even know if it's good. My mom gave it to me. See, my mom gave it to me. She's like, you want some of my old makeup, my Mary Kay makeup? But it's just like a color I like. I just kind of use it as bronzer. Just makes your face like brighter, whatever. So, yeah. Nobody trusts me to do anything for myself, because somehow I failed. So now I'm just a reject from no one who knows nothing and is nothing, and that's perfectly fine. This is a different color. Got this from Ipsy. It's Tarte. Party dress. I just like those kind of like less rosy, but like more orangey. Just really into that. More peachy. Look. It's hard to put your makeup on in like this, whatever. That's okay. Doing what I'm doing. It's all gonna work out, or it's not gonna work out. I am like so kind of go with the flow too, and I've really learned how to trust my heart. I wouldn't have even had a YouTube channel if I didn't just go with the flow of what I felt. I had allowed other people to keep me down for so long. So when I finally felt free, I did what I wanted to do, and it worked. But then all of a sudden I wasn't free again. It's like I came into a position where I was no longer free anymore. I was just also now like I was a failure, so I belonged to everybody else, and everyone else was going to help me pick up the pieces, and everything they wanted me to do was just like a projection of their own stupidity, because they weren't doing what they wanted to do. And I was swept up in it. So eventually my mom hit me. She just we got into a big fight about what I was doing and how lazy I was, and I wasn't helping with anything. And my mom just like slapped me with like this, and I bolted. Okay. And then I called my friend who I'd been in business with, and her and my sister helped me get out of there into a hotel in Chicago. So all of a sudden I'm all the way back in Chicago, and I'm trying to deal with that, because going back to Chicago is even worse. And everybody would tell me, oh, and so I'm like seeing even my friends and them telling me, oh, why don't you just go do this? And so they all started telling me that, and I'm like, I'm just gonna not talk to anybody anymore. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do what I always did. I'm gonna try to get some old readings done. The people still waiting. So I did a couple of those, the angriest ones. And this has already been almost a year, by the way, where I started doing readings again. And I tried to sell some, and I was able to sell a few, but not enough. And then my friend was getting really pissed off at me. And then my sister, she lived in San Diego, and she called, and she's like, Alyssa, why don't you just come down here? So we took our stuff, and actually all of our stuff at this point has been in a, what are those things called? In a storage unit in LA. We only came with the essentials, so we've been carrying around like our lives on our back, like my whole family, like me and my husband, my kids. And before anybody says anything about what my husband's doing, my husband's being very supportive of me, and he was going to get a job a few times in Texas, in Chicago, and there was just something that stopped him that said, if you get a job here, we're gonna be here. And I felt it really strongly. And it wasn't like we didn't get into fights, because he really wanted to be like the savior, the hero, like as he should be. And I didn't put him into submission or anything, but we eventually would agree that this isn't, we can't be stuck here. This is wrong. We were called by the universe to get to a certain place for some reason, okay? Like, just because it didn't work out doesn't mean it's not right. And everything will work out if we follow what is calling us. You know, I just felt like that was it. So maybe we didn't do everything right, and maybe it didn't always work out well, but eventually we got back to San Diego, okay? We had the money to do that. We got to San Diego, live with my sister, boyfriend. We're there for 2 weeks. We're supposed to be there. They're gonna go on this road trip. We're gonna stay there for like 6 months and get our shit back together in San Diego. 2 weeks, and her boyfriend breaks up with her and kicks us out and calls the landlord to be like, nope, you can't be here anymore. And we're like, what? And so the landlord like kills the lease and said, if you can't get your family out by then, like you've already broken the lease by having your family live with you, you can't do this. So we didn't even have a chance to like get anything accomplished then. And we're like, what do we do? We're like, we're gonna go back to LA. That's where we're supposed to go. We have to go back to LA. I don't know, it just was like, it was a calling. So we got an extended stay in LA, and we were really good at staying in extended stays. There's these like really cheap ones, right? We got into those. By the way, this is like the Anastasia. This one, Modern Romance, is really dirty. I've been using it. I really love all these colors, so I tend to use this the most, in case you wanted to know. And I take like a mid color and put it here. And then I take a darker, one of the darker ones, like red or brown, and I put it underneath. This is so, just letting you know, this is how I do my makeup pretty much all the time. And I'm like a weirdo, because some people don't like this, some people do, but I have really hooded eyes. So I tend to, I like go crazy with like the smoke out. I'm gonna hit my under my eyes. I just think it looks cool. I don't know. Some people really hate that I do it. So then I just kind of add some more up here and like mix it together. Like, it's just all about the blend. I don't do anything special except like blend multiple colors together and use different brushes, in case you wanted to know. So like everything doesn't get put together. And you want to put the light on, and then you only have a like dark on the brush. That's what I used to do. I used to do that with makeup. Like, just use the same brush. And I would be like, oh, I can't blend it. No wonder why. Okay, so we stay in an extended stay with my sister. My sister gets a job. I start able to pay a little bit of bills with some readings. I mean, not bills. We don't have bills at this point. We're fucking behind on bills. We live in a hotel. So our hotel night to night, and that's what we're trying to do. And the kids are fine the whole time. I just want you to know, kids love hotels, and they loved it. I don't know. They didn't know anything was wrong. And the extended stays have kitchens and stuff, and we would go places. We'd walk and go to the mall and go to other things. Anyway, eventually my sister wanted to get a place, so she did. But we just didn't have enough saved up, because we were doing month to month. So not month to month, day to day at this point. So I move in with my friend, and we moved together. She's like, I'm gonna get an apartment. I think you can stay with it, and then I'll go in between here and another place. It was like she was here for like 3 weeks, and then with me, and then she bolted. She didn't want to be around anymore, and it was weird. And I needed her to be there, but she wasn't, and I couldn't afford the rent on my own. And my husband applied for multiple jobs, like multiple kitchen jobs, because that's what he was. He was a restaurant manager before. I really tried to make sure that he never had to do that again, but we were like, you know what, desperate times call for desperate measure, and he had a lot of experience, and no one called him back. And we were just like, wow, this is kind of the universe or something. Maybe it's not the universe, but it seemed like something anyway. But we got evicted. Yep. After all of this, finally have a place, we get evicted. My friend never comes back. She actually dumped her stuff with me. I still have her stuff. It's been a year. But we get evicted in December. We had to move everything back into storage and go back into the hotel grind. And the day, we have to leave December 31st. They actually gave us extra time because of Christmas. And they're like, but you have to leave by New Year's, so you have to be out by December 31st. Have the keys in January 1st. And so it's December 31st. We're moving everything, and I'm literally don't know what we're gonna do because I have a little bit of money. I have to go to an extended stay, and I don't know how long it's gonna last. And I'm waiting for some money to come in, and it's just it was like a very freaky experience. But we're just like, you know what, one thing at a time. Because what I've learned in this whole experience is to live in the moment, go with the flow, and that's what I was doing. I actually started my Patreon during that time because while I was doing all this, I was like, I'm telling you like the actual physical story of what happened, but I was in this fucking spiritual, like, all I had was God. All I had was spirit. All I had was the universe. All I had was divine energy to guide me. That's literally all I had. I'm not crying, you're crying. So we're moving everything we get everything out of the apartment on December 30th. And then it's in the truck, and we have to leave the next day. We're sleeping on the floor in blankets with the kids. And as we're like partway done moving everything out of the truck, trying to occupy the kids while me and my husband move everything, I fucking break my ankle. I'm on like coming out of the back of the truck. It doesn't make me cry anymore, I'm doing. And I'm holding this box with this clock in it from my office, and I'm walking, and there's like, it's a Penske truck, so it's a little bit different than U-Haul. I'm not used to the Penskes. Walking down the ramp, and there's this little lip, right? Like between the ramp and the ground, it was like this big. And my left ankle, because I'm more right dominant, kind of trips. It doesn't know what's happening. So it trips, and I twisted and sprained my left ankle so bad. It hurt. So I was holding the box, and I re-corrected on my right, and I just heard and I fucking screamed. And my husband was with the kids and like in the storage unit, and people came out and were like helping me, and I was just screaming bloody murder. Like, I had never experienced anything like that before. I've had 2 kids, but they ended up both being cesarean sections, so they more like being nauseous during that time than anything else. And everyone's like, well, maybe you just sprained it. I don't know, but they called an ambulance, and they take x-rays, and I broke 3 bones, all 3 bones. And they're like, you have to have surgery. And so we couldn't go anywhere. I asked the nurse if the kids could stay in the hospital room with us. And so we all stayed in the hospital room until they're like, kids can't be here anymore. And I had my surgery. And then this was the craziest part. My kids and my husband were in the car. Like, they brought the car to the mall so that they could be occupied while I was in surgery. And while they're there, we were behind a month on it because we're just fucking struggling. And it gets repoed. So the car gets repoed. Our home on wheels is repoed while I'm in the hospital getting surgery on my ankle that just broke. And it was really insane and crazy. And I was like, I couldn't even feel anything. I mean, I was on drugs. But after I got out, we had to call an Uber and get to an extended stay hotel and figure out everything. And so basically my Patreon saved me because it's been a long time since I had really done a lot of readings. So I was selling the readings, and they were saving me. And I would just get a reading and be able to pay for a night in a hotel. And sometimes I couldn't, so we had to check out and go to Target and wait for me to get something so that I could do this. And then we did that for a month and a half. And then my sister, again, she's like, I finally am getting a place and it needs work because they're letting me move in early. So can we live with you again? And so can you want to live with me and you help? Just help until you can get a place. And it's like, okay, thank you. So we have to stay in the hotel for like another week and make that work, and then we come out. Oh, also, all of our shit was in the van when it got repoed, okay? And it was gonna cost $600 to get our shit from the repo people. We let the van go, but we didn't want to let the stuff go because it was everything that we had. I had one outfit the entire time I was in the hotel. My husband did make it to like storage to get me something more like after a couple weeks, but we had nothing. And all of our real closest belongings that we had taken with us for the last 2 years were just locked up in repo. And if we didn't get them in 2 months, they were going to get rid of them, all of our luggage and everything. And finally, because my sister said we could move in with her, I had some money, it came in and I used it, and my husband went to go get all of our stuff. And this is the thing, I feel bad because I'm telling you this story and I feel like in a way people will start judging my husband, and I just want you all to know that he's the biggest supportive person in the entire world because he believed in me and what I had to do and nobody else did. And I didn't know where I was going, but we were trusting. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had anybody to watch the kids. And really, honestly, the money that I get when it comes in and I could pay for the hotel right away, if he was out job searching, he would have been watching the kids and I wouldn't have been able to work, and it would have been really hard. And he did try to job search. It just felt like we had a mission and we could only go one way about it. You know what I'm saying? So that was the beginning of last year. When I was with my sister, I started to make random videos. And for my Patreon, I was really into my Patreon because I do have like a system in my Patreon. I was really excited about it. But every once in a while I have to put it on hold because I have to do other things to make sure everything's okay. While I'm living with my sister, the landlord, this is a duplex, and the landlord's like, Alyssa, Alyssa, would you like to move in here? It's 1 bedroom, but I won't make you sign a lease, and you don't need to give me money up front, and I like you, so just like come in. And it was like fucking gift from God, and that's where I've been since then. And after we got that sort of stability, I started doing my channel again. It was like, I didn't know where I was going to go with it, but I was like, I have stability. I have to come back to this. I had to take my horse down the Old Town Road and make something work. And, you know, like, since I've been back, some of it's been rewarding, but some of the same old shit, the same old stuff about why I left is just, like, all back up here. It's, like, hard to figure out what I'm supposed to, like, why everything led for me to come right back to where I started. I am in LA, or I'm in North Hollywood. I am stable here, whether or not it's, like, my big dream home or whatever I thought. It's been 2 years. I quit for a reason. At times I still don't even know what that reason is, you know. Sometimes I forget because nothing fully has happened. But I do know that I followed a path and it brought me to where I want to be, brought me to a stable place. I used to have a lot of anxiety and a huge panic disorder, and I don't anymore. I mean, I really don't. I used to be so scared of everything and so fucking unhappy, and just looking for, like, something to wear on my mouth. And, well, I like it when my lips don't look like lips. And I was so afraid and I was embarrassed and I didn't think I had anything. I didn't think I was worth anything. I let people take advantage of me left and right. I couldn't tell, like, a wolf from somebody, from an angel. Like, I couldn't tell. I didn't know who had my back. I seriously was just getting fucking scammed left and right, and I would have like let myself die, and something saved me. And I did go on this huge journey where all I did was fucking study and try to figure out the meaning of life, because it just felt meaningless. And I mean, I come back here, and sometimes people think that I'm just too like mean sometimes, like on Instagram, and I post about people. But seriously, this like community here is like a fucking cesspool of just awful people that I've gotten the pleasure of knowing over years. And, you know, some of them knew about my situation. Nobody helped. That's their prerogative. They don't have to help. But it almost seemed like they took joy in my demise. Like if I die, then they can live, and so they might as well just keep me dead. That's what it felt like. In fact, it's pretty much what I was hearing across the board. So when I did start posting and shit, you know, there was drama. There's always drama because anything public and when people are fighting for something. And with the drama, there was like so many public attacks from people who I thought were my friends. And there were a lot of like shit, like, why do you even come back? And you're nobody, and like all this other stuff. And I was like, you know what? At this point, I've been through fucking hell and back. Hell and back. Things that you would understand. And I've barely even skimmed the surface of the shit that happened and the conversations I had and the problems that arised. But I wanted you guys to know some of it, because maybe you'll know like a little bit about like what I've seen and what I've been through, and why I kind of just take no shit from people, and I'm not afraid of it, because I'm so fucking sick of people taking from me and taking from those I love and pretending that they're doing the right thing. You're fucking not. You're bad people, and you're leading people on the wrong path. And I guess if I was in, I've had like people who are really into law of attraction tell me that like I did this to myself, and I'm like, you know what? So crazy. I'm still in a better place now because I followed my heart over like manifesting my desires. And I'm in a better place. The bigger the hoop, the bigger the hoe. Sorry, that's just what it is. I don't know. All of the shit that I've learned is just like how to really be happy and make your life the life you want it to be, because you have to live with yourself every day. And when you have nothing, and when you can't put yourself out here, and you can't say that, hey guys, look at me, I'm Alyssa. And you have to be real with yourself and look in the mirror because you have fucking nothing. Then you start understanding what is good and what will lead you into a place of happiness, and the power you have to make your own life, not because you're wishing it, wanting it, doing it, because it's real and it's true and it's your sole purpose and you believe it. And I want to let you know, like, I believe everything I speak on because it's the only thing that helped. And I tried. So he's just positive, like, get out of the situation. And I went in fucking positive and blind, and I was shit fucking stormed with attacks multiple times during this experience. I really believed in it. I really believed it would help. I really put my optimism into full gear and manifestation and everything, and it didn't fucking work because for a reason. And so what I talk about and what I believe in, it's all because of my journey. And if you guys are going through hell, I want you to know you got to keep going, because you will find an out. And I'm not at my finish line yet, but you never really get there. And that's something else I learned. I'm kind of right back to the beginning, but I'm smarter, I'm wiser, I'm more powerful, I'm stronger, and I give less fucks. And that is my favorite thing about who I am now. I am myself. I'm nobody else. I don't belong to anybody but me. I can do whatever I want. And I can say fuck you to whoever I want to say fuck you to, and I can live in that bliss, and that is so nice. Anyway, this is like a 40-minute video, but it was a Leo new moon, so why not talk about myself? Leo new moon, oh my god, Leo full moon. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this. I'll talk to you later.